questions. That's not acceptable. And what next? So when we are talking about assignments, it's more like what you do with your teachers too, basically. For me, the marker, sometimes you might have good content, but just the appearance of the distance is already repulsive. That's the truth. But some other person might not have as much content as you, but the presentation will make you want to be eager. Harasha. Ego. Is it Facebook?
No.
Okay, thank you. Harasha? So, sorry. So it's, do you understand? But because of the fact that I've not given us this analysis, because of the time, how Pastor everything went in the morning, we didn't get to talk. So I took the pain to read through, no matter how it is. But for next time, if the presentation is not good, I'm just going to put asterisk and leave it because it's difficult to read. It's more like you're having an answer where you're supposed to do, let's say, question 4. Maybe they say give 3 parallels, and you're putting I. You write your first parallel, the second one, I, 2. What stops you from just putting it on a different line? Like arrangement, neatness matters. So let's do it. Let's do a professional work. Don't just be like, okay, I'm just doing it to submit it and all that. Извините.
Легче было.
О, хорошо, спасибо. Sir?
I'm sorry, can I just make a comment on that? Just to really help the colleagues.
Babu, sorry. Babushe, I need you here. Are you busy?
Right now?
Okay.
In 2010, when I was here and we were doing this, I'm really sorry, but I was telling one of the colleagues here that I haven't yet still seen the hardness and seriousness of this program yet, as far as I'm concerned. But that time, really, everything was a lesson. Even what she's highlighting is actually helping you to see your weakness in that.
Yes,
and
for
that's
you.
what this program
No, you won't leave me wrong. Where is your this thing? I gave you some points to
many
raise.
times some of us only
Is it
scratch
low?
on the surface. We
I
are
gave you
not
some points
detailed.
about the assignment to
And
mark, some things we need to
HMT is
announce.
calling
The other
us
lady,
to
you're supposed to
value
check her.
details.
You have it on your head.
That's extremely important.
What's her name?
That you're not going to create change when you are not going into the what? Into the details of life. So everything she's highlighting is an indication of our weaknesses, you know. Not minding about excellence, you know, is a weakness.
Sure.
So thank you.
Sure. So more like your assignment tells a lot about you. That's the summary of what I was saying. So when I just see that, it's more like someone that anything can just go, you know, looking for shortcuts to like a way out in life. Actually, there is actually no shortcut in life. It's either you're detailed or you're not. And Pastor will always say, the 1% of the world that are at the top there are those who pay attention to details. So I don't understand how we could do assignments without your name. And over 50% of us made that mistake. Okay, a lot of people are going to have red dots this evening. I'm sorry, but... Sorry?
On the sheet that was sent to us before coming, you did tell us how we wanted
Yeah.
the information sent with the name, comma, and the title of
Yeah. That means, thank you for pointing that out. So actually, it's not our fault. Okay, you had the information. So for the first assignment, basically, I'm going to call the first 3 people. First of all, the name of the person that sent in the assignment late that you didn't say. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We have Caroline Olulola Sorunke. We couldn't open the file you sent.
Yeah. No, not,
Yeah.
I think not you.
That's the first assignment.
Yeah. Again. So what happens is, please, for every one of us, if you're sending, use Word document. So we can work with that, either PDF or Word documents. Any other program, we don't have it, so that is difficult. And The second is the second one I gave you. The person told you they sent earlier. I needed to confirm, so the person has to show you the time they sent it.
Yeah. I'll do
So
that.
check, so we'll know if the person is among the red dots or not. Then, that being said, that's the bad part of the assignment. So for the first assignment, we have, well, actually, if we are going to follow the standard of HMT, we don't have any first, second, or third. But grading by your work, the best three works is what I'm calling, but for the standard of HMT, no. So for the first assignment, the best work came from Deji Okonade. If you're here, can you stand? Let's put our hands together for him. Woo, 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 woo. Please. The second person is Davida. Can we put our hands together for her? And the third person is John. John Adjai, right? Put our hands together for him. So these are the three best we had from the first assignment. Then for the second assignment, that is where a lot of red dots are going to come in. So if I call your name, you just stand up, and anybody seated, bring out your badge for your red dots. Yeah. The first one is...
Can you explain to them why we're going to give them red dots?
Okay. So why am I going to give us a lot of people this red dot? We said the assignments should be submitted at 7. I know I explained that. That 1 minute past 7, you're out of it, right? I said that on my own part. And I was by the computer. I've not stepped out of here since we closed the other time waiting. And I took notes to 7. So if your assignment came in 7:01, you're late and you're getting the red dot. If you are incomplete, you submitted an incomplete assignment, which some people did, you're getting a blue dot. And what next? Yeah. Then for today, because I've not spoken to us, a lot of us did our assignment like we were, okay, let me just submit it and let them free me. So for next time, you get a dot for that. But for now, we're going to let those go. At least you submitted. So if I call your name, please, you stand. Zivinas Rubinas. Sorry if I don't pronounce the name well. Did I get it correctly? Okay. Chiwe Ananaba. Nadine Muteta. And yeah, there is someone that sent assignment with NADWL.
Yes.
We don't know the name.
Not W.
What's your name? Sorry. Full name? Nadina. So you sent 2 times or what?
Because I have 2 addresses.
Oh. So you're using the 2 addresses?
I am so tired.
We need one because
We need one. Okay. So Nadina, you stand. Caroline Sharon Care. I don't know which one now because we have only one. Who submitted before 7?
I think at 7.
You submitted at 7, okay.
Is that bad? So should I stand or should I sit?
No, stand. Your standing is that you're good, not bad.
I think she's with the middle.
Before 7?
But it wasn't complete, and then when I later on did, I submitted the rest just for you guys to score it for me to see if my thinking was okay.
Okay,
So
but
just check, but I know the first one I submitted was
before 7. Okay, so you could stand then. Mhm. Then Alexander Alajiki. Okay. Ogenetega Adogbeji, sorry. Oladimeji Shorunke. Deji Okonade, you're already here. Leye Olayiwula. Olutoyin Toby. Who is Olutoyin Toby? You're standing? Okay. Then Uche Chuku Okere. John Ajayi, you're already here. Davida is here. Oyeronke Abolade Kole. Incomplete work. She's getting the blue dot. Give her a blue dot. Then Layo Ogedengbe. All right. Is there any other person seated you want to contest? You submitted before 7? You submitted before 7. What's the email? Sorry? Okay. Sorry, do you have your email with you there? Yeah, like I want you to open the email, show her the sent.
Show me the sent, please.
Yeah.
You're surely sent on time.
Just you and who again? You submitted when? 2 minutes to. Are you sure about that? What's the name? No. We received it after 7. Okay, so you submitted before 7? The same time we have? Hold on, please. Okay, you sit. Those who have issues with the not submitting before 7, can you stand, please? Okay, so can you please go ahead with the red dot so we can continue?
Yeah, he's saying that he's sent on time.
He sent on time.
Yeah, he's checking. The problem is his time is still 5.
Okay, what you have to do is we have 2 people contesting. For those, okay, you sent before 7 also? All right, 3 people contesting. For the rest of the people, give them the red dot first, then we'll sort out with them. Thank you.
Okay, so who and who? Who's getting blue?
She's blue, incomplete, yeah.
Okay. And you're contesting? Yeah?
Are you contesting you sent it before 7 is what she's asking. So you're not sure of when you sent it?
I know it was before, some few minutes before.
It's your right, you can do that. You can check. Yeah.
Hurry up.
Who else?
Not yet.
Jonathan, what happened? Did you send to me? Yeah, because this year was by 7. I'm sure the last person that sent it by 7 was, is it Sorunke? One of the Sorunke sent the last.
That's she.
Yeah, that's you. You were the last person. The first person was Davita.
Yeah.
By the way, you have to.
Let's put our hands together for Davida. She was on time and had the best work. Yeah. She was the first person that sent. And yeah, for the second work, you came first. Then. Ogenetega, you came second for the second work. And Deji and John came third. Please join us. No. I will explain why now. Now, like I stated at first, grading by the category of HMT, none of them came first, second, or third. But from the performance of all the work that was here, they did. Now, their work might not be more excellent than any other person's own, but they followed all the protocols.
But some of us didn't get those protocols, so I really have to be, I didn't.
But she just said it was sent before you came.
No, I did. Somebody sent so I didn't get it.
You didn't get it. Okay, that means we'll have to read it out and tell you what we require.
I don't know anything about it. I didn't get it.
There was an email with 2 documents that came. No, I'm just asking, I'm just saying.
Anything.
Okay, I'm just saying what.
It's okay, let's not argue. Let's not argue. What will happen? So thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know so we can explain that before the end of the section so everybody will be aware of what is needed. But before I started, I told you the basic things you have to take note of. Send your assignments with titles and names. Some people even send the assignment. We don't know the assignment you're sending. Is it the first? Is it the second? What is the title of the assignment? I'm, I'm not talking specifically that it's you. It's not everybody that did that. But yeah, I'm trying to explain what we saw in the assignments. So then, basically, the neatness of the work. Give it space. You answer question 1. If they said 3 parallel reasons, nobody actually did a parallel reason. We just, parallel reasons. Number 3. Parallel.
Yeah. You gave an example of what you should do. Honestly, I think what you need to do, basically, to get the standard up, because basically what you're saying now is none of what we have done is the standard. That may be number 1. It's either we just decide to do it lackadaisically, or we probably don't
Get the
really
point.
understand exactly what you're talking about. So
Okay.
I think it will be proper for us to know exactly what you're expecting.
Okay, I will do that.
Give us an answered, false answer.
I will do that.
The other thing I was going to say, I
Okay.
just checked the second assignment I sent to you now. Part of the last one was truncated. It wasn't actually sent. I just
Oh.
showed that to you
I'm
now.
sorry, guys.
Okay.
The technician guy is saying that you should stop with microphone, please. So because they are recording everything.
Do we really need this recorded though?
I really don't know. This is homework.
Yeah,
He
so
has not heard his name. He's Kevin. Can you please check? He said he's
he
10.
submitted?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see.
Let's see the initial list. No. What time did you send?
5-7? And you really want to bother us with that right now, Kelvin?
No.
Woo!
He is late with 1 minute. I'm like, in his mail, it's shown that he sent exactly at 5, but you know, he's still working with the UK time.
Yeah.
So I said, as for today, we got it at, he's the one with please.
Okay, we'll go to
7:01.
Yeah.
So for today, we pardon you, but please next time, don't send it at 7, so we don't get it at 7:01.
Okay, so basically, before we round up the listening session so we can go into the book, maybe I should get one of the questions and answer it, or give an example, if that's okay.
I think it would be good to see it written, a printed copy, so we know of what,
Okay, so
rather than tell us.
I should email it. Beautiful. What is the idea?
When you give us assignment, say, okay, for this one, this is what I expect for these questions, because I would never have known that you wanted it separated for number 4. I just thought, okay, she wants 3 reasons, but if you had said, okay, I want these reasons clearly put out,
Okay.
I would have done, okay, this is good.
All right.
Where's me?
Oh, hello, Sean. Diana. Diana. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's it. I mean, just so that we're not guessing when we get, because all we're thinking when you give assignment is I have an hour to do this.
Yeah.
But if we know, okay, for these questions, this is the length, maybe we want, full 2 paragraphs on this one.
Okay.
Maybe we want 3 bullet points on this one. If you tell us that, then we're like, okay, get all these points. Right. If we know, like, okay, this is what I have to fit into this hour.
Okay. So for example, when they say parallel points, parallel, probably you just give us a table. All right. Sorry?
I said, I've got an iPad to do a table will be challenging.
Somebody did that for us, and that was John. How did you do it? Tell us.
Maybe he's very good with the iPad.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so that's the end of the assignment. When we are sending the next assignment, probably we'll just do a brief description, attaching it to your assignment, or send it as a mail so we can go straight to the point because we have a few minutes to go.
Or you use Word, please.
We're using Word, but on an iPad, you don't get all the features.
Then you just go straight to the on the email. In the email, no need of attachment, because I think the attachment is kind of confusing. I know it's better, but sometimes we have problem opening it.
No, but if it's Word.
If it's word,
You
yeah,
two of
even
you are
with the
saying
word.
different things. She didn't get what you said. You didn't
What?
get what she said. She was talking. She was talking about the parallel term, and you are talking of how to send it. So
No, I'm talking about how to send.
Tables in the Word
it's two
document
different
on
things
an
you guys are
iPad.
talking
Oh,
about.
I get. Yeah, sure.
All right, so let's put our hands together for these people. Can be seated. So now, basically, those structures, they got those structures. That's why it's more like first and second.
Start up, no problem.
It's more like the same set of people. But when we come to detailed analysis, probably so will I say the quality of probably, how do I explain it? What is written, maybe, yeah, leaving the standard to read what is written, they might not come for second, third. But observing all the rules for the assignment, their work is the best. So now that we know, I believe, for the next assignment, for those who already have perfect ideas, you just put the structures. And yeah, we'll be celebrating you. Okay, so we are getting to books. Please, if you finish your book, can you signify by raising up your hand? You finished the book. If you've not, thank you. Can you put down your hand? Those who have not finished the book, can I see your hand? All right. Two of you did not finish the book. As we are discussing, can you stand by the wall while you're reading it?
I'm on chapter 14.
Yeah. So, we are Christians, right? We are trustworthy. So, everyone sitting down here, you finish your book?
Yes.
Eh? Yeah, we'll have mercy on them. It's the first day. They won't stand till the end, but they just have to observe it for a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. So, yeah, we are going to discuss. So, we'll start the discussion from you, Pastor. Tell us give me 3 most catching points for you from the book. Who am I?
For so long, and to think that. Sorry, before you.
Sir.
Can
Sir? Ego just bailed you out. So you can say.
Can we make reference
Yeah.
for me? Because I sort of, follow the guide.
No, not all of you, just
Underline, circled, and all that stuff. Can I make reference to it from the book?
No, his case is special. His case is special. Okay.
It does say to mark and everything. So.
Okay.
This microphone.
Let me hold it for you.
Thank you. Sorry, it says to basically underline, mark, and everything on the book, things that, Well, I didn't read the book out loud. It says to read it out loud. But a few things stood out. I found that if you're not aware of who you are and you can't define who you are, then others will define you. If you cannot have goals for you, you follow other people's goals. And then the book made reference to a number of icons, and one of my best ones is Steve Jobs. I found a lot of the references quoted by this guy. If I didn't know he wasn't a Christian, I would have thought he was a Christian, because his life was about living for purpose until you drop your last breath, which he did. And yet, I'm not sure if he was. I'm pursuing it with passion. I think this is the.
So you need to give us 3 main points.
Okay, maybe I've
that
done
blessed
that.
you.
Okay, Maybe I'm not.
I can't.
Knowing who you are.
Knowing who you
Defining
are.
running with your vision and purpose.
Beautiful.
Otherwise you
Let's
run
put our
with
hands
somebody
together
else.
for her. Okay. Sir, please. Your lessons.
All right. For me, the most interesting part of that book for me, I mean, every other chapter is very interesting, but it's actually determine what your calling is.
Okay.
You know, the bullet points there about what would you do? You know, what would you gladly do if you're not paid? You know, where does your pain meet your passion? And what is it that people actually see in you and they compliment you for? I mean, what is it that you can do without preparing?
Okay.
That really resonates with me because, I mean, like I said, I've been able to discover what I'm passionate about, and those points actually, you know, just bring them alive.
Okay.
You know, they tend to, how do I put it, validate exactly what I love to do. I mean, for me, if you wake me up, I don't have to prepare, and you tell me to discuss a particular topic, I'll be so glad to do that without mincing words and without looking at anything. So that really resonates with me.
Let's
Just
put our hands
exactly
together.
what you're calling is.
Great one, great one, great one. So what we are going to do next now, I'm going to give it to you. So we'll just pass it around. You're going to be we want everybody to give the reasons. So go straight to the point. First lesson, second lesson, third lesson. First lesson, second lesson. Okay? The earlier the better for you. Don't repeat what, yeah, you come out and say that. Don't repeat what other people said.
For me, for the part of the book that I read, some of the things that resonated with me was how the book was able to actually help you through the journey of answering certain questions to let you know what are your grades. They don't want you to lie to yourself. Like if you get a score of 5 to 9, this is what you need to work on. And as I go through it, even despite myself, I thought I was this perfect guy. I still saw some things that I can improve in that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, from the book, number one point that I got from the book is that more people than you think don't know who they are.
Yeah.
But there's a thinking that they do. And if you don't know who you are, you really can't live a fulfilled life. Knowing who you are also involves knowing your calling. When you know your calling, that's where you get your fulfillment. There was one story about a Russian poet, I think he was.
Right.
We always hear something that says, never give up on your belief. I can say, never give up on who you found that you are.
Mm-hmm.
This Russian poet was going to be forced by his parents to be an engineer or lawyer, one of those kind of professions. But he knew within himself that that was not who he was. And he went through so many things. He went to mental institution. I mean, so many things happened to him, but he stood. He stood for who he was. And when he finally got out of all those ups and downs, he became one of the most renowned poets in the world. I looked at his journey, I'm like, you know what? After I find out who I am, I should stick with it to the end, no matter what the cost will be.
Okay, thank you. That's for him. Yeah. We could actually come out so it will be a bit faster. We don't have time, so it will go around before Pastor comes. Go ahead, please.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I learned that once when you don't know who you are, essentially, you basically waste time, and you concentrate your attention. You concentrate your attention on things that are not necessarily important, and that will just consume your energy and everything. Whereas if you knew who you were and what your purpose was, you would be essentially economically using your time wisely. And another important lesson that I learned as well is that some of the obstacles that we have is already in our mind, in our head, through, you know, self-doubt, lack of belief in yourself, and yeah.
Okay.
We just talk about what will limit us.
Right.
One of the things I got from the book. I'll talk about inferiority complex.
Okay.
When we have inferiority complex, we cannot progress in life. And fear of failure. When we fear that we'll fail, we will not be able to progress. And also, if we fear criticism, if we fear that people will criticize what we are doing,
Okay.
we will not be able to know ourselves. We will not know who we are and where we are going. Thank you.
No. You are not through with the book now. Are you not reading? You are supposed to be reading the book. Where is your book? Why standing? You should be reading.
I learned about. I learned about.
Okay, go ahead.
Learned about the different pointers towards your calling, such as where you have passion in, where your love meets hate,
Yeah.
where you have where you have passion, where your love meets your hate, where what you can do, the things you can do without even thinking of time, or the things you can do without pay, but ultimately it still boils down to your creator. So you can't separate your creator. You have to go back to your creator to know ultimately what he has called you for. But there are pointers towards it. And also that once you find out your calling, you have to be very focused. You have to be determined. You have to put in all your best into it, through literatures, through books, through studies, through observations, experiments, whatever your calling is. You have to be determined to get to the end of it. And don't give up on the way, even with failures here and there. Still keep pressing on towards your goals. And as you have to break your goals into manageable beats that you can do daily. You can't just look at the big picture and think, oh, I'm just going for the big picture. If you don't break it down, it's hard for you to stay focused. You have to break it down into beats that you can do every day, just like eating the elephant. Thank you.
All right, that's a beautiful point you brought out, just as eating the elephant. What was the story about eating the elephant? Tell us.
You have to eat the elephant piece by piece. You have to cut it up. If you want to eat the elephant, you can. If you want to eat it in a year, you have to break it down to what part of what quantity you can eat in a month. Break it down again to what quantity you can eat in a week, and break it down to what quantity you can eat in a day, and even morning, afternoon, and evening.
Okay.
Yes, I realized the book was made up of 3 parts.
Okay.
So I picked a lesson from each part. Part 1 was about answering questions. Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going?
I like the way you followed your answer. Yeah.
So
3 parts,
I know,
and you got each lesson from each part.
Yeah, I know I'm not a biomass. I think that word was used.
Beautiful, yeah.
I am made by God. I have got the image of God inside me, and as a result, I have an assignment to fulfill from part 1. Part 2, if I have my assignment, how do I get it fulfilled? And basically have a business plan. You have to write it down and then follow it through diligence, perseverance, discipline, all of that. And then the last part, if it is that simple, know your purpose, know who you are, have a plan, follow it through. Why is it that many people don't do it? Okay. And it's a fear of failure, fear of opinions of people, even fear of success. So that was what I was saying.
Can you do you observe how he followed his question? His answers now, his lesson might not be the best, but observe the strategy. He had a book, 3 parts, and his 3 parts, he got lessons from each of the parts. I don't know if you're observing the distance.
Okay, so my favorite chapter was chapter 1 because it establishes who I am. I think the most important lesson I learned was that I used to think that owning a business and running a business was who you are, and finding out that that can't define you, and that knowing who you are is the underlying motive. And I think the best example in that chapter was Abraham Lincoln, how his mission was to abolish slavery, and whatever method he could do to get there, that was he was willing to take, which is how he became president. His aim wasn't presidency, it was to abolish slavery. That's my favorite. The next point was chapter 3. It's about potential, and Pastor Sunday breaks down just a really a simple understanding that it's all about the time you put in. He said it was 10,000 hours in if you do 10,000 hours in anything, you'll be great. And I think that's something that I definitely have taken and will have to put in practice.
That's a good point.
Cool.
Great points. Details.
I return that we are responsible to form value system and belief.
Okay.
And we must live in accordance with our positive values and belief. It's the only way to self-realization.
Okay. Encourage her.
A lot has already been said, but for you to actually get to the point, there are certain things you really have to get rid of.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have to go to the bits that have already been said, so I'm going to things that may affect us and which we definitely have to make every attempt to get rid of.
Yeah.
One is fear of failure. The second one is fear itself, denial, victim mentality. I think I should stop there, otherwise others may not have things to say.
No, sorry. Let me cut you a bit. This book, right? We used to take Pastor's book and do quotes from it. You have over 10,000 lessons from this book.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not up to 30 in this hall.
Oh, if you want me to go on, yes, I will. Should I?
Sure, please.
Oh.
Three. You've given one lesson, second and third.
Okay. Parts of what one has to understand, just like in any business, is strategically plan.
Yeah.
And as big as you may think what your goal is, you have to break it down, which has already been said. But you break it down in bite size in such a way that as you wake up in the morning, you already know what you're going to do.
Okay.
And every day, it's not that big for you not to achieve it because it's in bite size. And bite size is just like what our last sister said. So we have cut something to such small size, and those small size will make up the big bits, which leads to our major goal.
Okay, thank you. Please, I want you to be a bit faster. Just 3 points. Hit it. Bullet points. Okay. 1, 2. These are my 3 lessons. 1, 2, 3. So the next people can go in because we have a few minutes before Pastor comes.
Okay. How to achieve your goals? You need to define your goals clearly. And if you define your goals clearly, your conscious mind, your subconscious mind will find ways to get to your goal. Yeah. Number 2, you need to conserve your energy. Number 2, you need to conserve your energy. You've only got so much energy in a day, so don't think of negative thoughts. If you think of negative thoughts, it would take all your energy and you wouldn't have no work. Work. Number 3, you have to live internally. You need to know who you are so that nobody sways you. Jesus knew who he was, so that's why he said, I'm the bread of heaven, I'm the truth and the way and the life. And that's why he's able to succeed and not let anyone sway him from his vision.
Okay. Are you the last person from here? Sorry.
I don't know who's behind me.
Is any other person here you've not given lesson? Okay, so let's start from here. Follow. Sorry.
Okay, so turn your challenges into opportunities.
Right.
And number 2. It doesn't matter the amount of talents you think you have if you haven't composed it into a statement. And then put aside anything that can disturb or distract you. and concentrate on answering in accordance to your real desire.
Okay. The next person.
Yes.
Uche, please. Just like soldiers. Pam, pam, pam.
Okay, very
3
simply
points.
for me. How many?
3 points. Pam, pam, pam.
Very simply. The first one is that there's no need to wait, okay? Everybody already has enough of what they need to, I think that's in chapter 8. Everybody already has enough of what they need to begin to fulfill their calling, okay? Obviously, second point, everybody has a calling. Like someone said earlier, none of us is just a piece of meat. And thirdly, some things have been said about things that can prevent us from fulfilling our calling, fulfilling our purpose. It's important to identify those things and relate them to us. So it's not just theoretical, but know the ones that relate to you and deal with them.
Okay. Next question. Fast.
Okay, I've got several, but I'll do the 3. And the first one is the principle. I'll just put them in principles. So I've got the principle of skill development, and that means there are different ways, there are different degrees of mastery when it comes to skill development. So there's incompetence, competence, excellence, and virtuosity. And my action was I need to ensure that I'm operating at a high level of competence. I'll just do some simple ones. The second one is the principle of focus. And it says focus on one thing and not don't scatter your attention. So my action point was I will focus on developing my financial and business education, my financial and business as a priority. Then another one was the principle of success and influence, and I learned that you'll only have success and influence in the area of your gifting. And the action is I need to do a proper gift analysis and stick to it.
Okay.
Awesome. Point 1, chapter 6, the core values and inner beliefs. If you write them down, then those values will make the decision for you. You won't have to waver and think, should I say yes or no to this opportunity? Chapter 8, principles of a fulfilling dream, how to do A to Z. It chunks down really well, lists how you should specify your dream, chunk it down into months, days, hours, and how you should plan forward and ahead. And point 3 is chapter 12, victim mentality, that we always pass the blame onto others why we did not do well. Prime example tonight, the lady said that we didn't do well in our assignment and we started passing blame. We didn't know this information, we didn't know that. Let's just take responsibility and be there.
So for me personally, it was the last parts of the book that were more beneficial to me. I don't know, from talking to a few people here, I've realized that like a lot of people kind of already know what they want to do. So in that aspect, yeah, it was the last few parts that touched me. So first point, research was the most important thing I think I gained. So firstly, obviously when Pastor was talking about how he dedicated 6 hours of every day from Monday to Friday reading just on his topic, like I believe like that's serious dedication. Like fair enough, you know what you want to do, but you need to know exactly how to do it, and the only way is to read. Second point is discipline. So for example, it starts from the smallest things like eating healthy or exercising every day at a certain time. You know, yeah, I just believe that discipline is the most important thing when it comes to achieving your goal. Like it's okay to write it down and to plan it, but you actually have to get it done. And the last thing, yeah, again, was the victim mentality that Ruby explained. Like, just don't be too sensitive about things. Like, stop dwelling on, oh my gosh, the problem. Accept your responsibility and realize how you're going to do better and move on. Don't dwell on it.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, the first lesson that came out to me is the 10,000 hour rules. That you need at least minimum of 3 hours every day to work on your gift if you are going to be very outstanding in life. Yeah. And the second one is the ability, the composition of man, the way God designed man, that if you set goals, somebody once said that if you don't have a goal, that you are living like a goat.
Wow.
So, and then the beauty of this is that if you set goal for yourself, that our subconsciousness, we always look for a way. And then once I was reading also about goals somewhere, somebody said, very powerful, he said, make an habit of writing down your goal before you go to bed. He said, because while you are sleeping, your subconsciousness will be looking for solutions.
Wow.
to your goal. Very powerful, and I practice it, and I'm telling you, it's very outstanding. And then, which one is the last one now? Okay, fear of failure. That is one of the greatest deterrent to achieving things in life. You have not started, but there is something that is telling you that you can't achieve it. That will paralyze you from achieving greatness in life. That failure is actually good, because it will lead to a learning curve, and will tell you that this is not the way to do it. There are better way to do this thing, and you get it done. Thank you.
Hola amigos. In English, hello friends.
Hello.
Okay, from what I got from this book is especially three points. Who am I is a very important question to me, because I really I have failed so many times in defining my value in that sense. So it is something that, well, after reading this book, I got the good elements and good points to develop that and work towards that. Obviously using the other stuff that the book is talking about, being disciplined and taking out of their mind those complexes and fears that stop us, and thinking positively. As well, I'm gonna read just very quickly this saying from this quote from the chapter 6 about the values and beliefs. It says, watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. That is really, really that touched me, and is very, very interesting to apply in my life from now on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, the 3 points that I got was to be positive and to believe that you can, right? And then the second one is failure should motivate you to your success and to know who you really are. And the third one is, in order to build a system of values, you need time and persistence to reach goals.
Okay, great. Please. Oh, sorry, I didn't know we still have him.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I learned from the book from chapter 1 that
Sit here.
chapter 1 that the world will be losing something great if we don't discover ourselves.
Beautiful.
And 2, from chapter 2, I learned that we were not created just to eat hamburgers. So we're created for something great. Amen. And the third one is, we are like, or the human brain is like computer.
Okay.
What we allow, we either slow us down or we accelerate us. Because it's like the computer that is affected or infected with virus, it destroys a lot of things in the computer. Pastor used the word software of the computer. So he said, which in